Hi everyone, I'm Janet McCullough. Welcome back. Thanks for being here with us. I have Yulia with us. She is the Director of Beauty for Pageantry Magazine. We're really excited to have her. She's going to be in some future episodes. She's going to help us with how to pose for photos, hair and makeup. She's got amazing gifts and talents that she can share with us. And then on this side, I have Tatiana. She is Mrs. Moldova. We're getting her ready for Mrs. World. We were all together at Mrs. America last week, so I'm really excited to be back together. We're gonna work on some runway skills. We're gonna talk about a few things that you should think about with your hands and your posture and your walking before we get on the runway. So first of all, think of ballet hands. Ballet hands are usually shaped like this. As opposed to being like this. Sometimes you see girls when they have stress, they hold it in their fingers, and when they walk, they hold it like this. So think of a ballerina, or you could probably look at a Barbie doll, and I think her hands are shaped like this as well. So you kind of hold them like that.
So it is a middle finger, kind of like a little coming forward.
Yeah. So ballet hands when you walk. The other thing is to remember that your head moves separate from your body, because otherwise you look stiff if you're like this. And your eyeballs should move with your head and your nose. So don't take your eyes over here and then move your head over here.
That's a great tip. I like it.
All right. And then the other thing is bathing suit is different than evening gown. Bathing suit has a lot more hip in it when you walk, and evening gown isn't quite as much hip. When you go in evening gown, you should float so you don't see a lot of bobbing. So there's just some things to think about when you're out there on the runway.
I'm excited to see how that comes out.
All right, excellent. So let's go hit the runway.
That's it.
So as you're approaching the judges, we want to have a T with our feet. Think a simple T, and then you modify from there. So you bring your foot out a little bit and you bevel. You want to angle your hips to the judges so that it makes the hips look smaller, but you want your shoulders to be facing the judges. So that's your stance. And then as you leave, you keep your chin up. You can bring your eyes down to them, and then you push it up, and you walk back. And there you have it. So let's see your teeth. Tatiana, that's fine. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Excellent. Now, let's talk about the Miss America circle, because sometimes they have you do a circle.
Yeah, we did that.
Especially in evening gown. Now, they may have you come out and stop first. You would stop. And then they may have you go around. As you go around, you look at your judges, look at your judges, look at your judges, and then you bring your head back, just like you're spotting and dancing, and you may stop. So you're looking at your judges, you're looking at your judges, you're looking at your judges, and then you snap your head back, and then you may stop here. And now they may have you go a different direction. They may have you go straight into the circle and then stop. If it's your choice, I would stop. I would do my circle. I would stop again. And then if you have a long train, you may need to do a little circle to come out of it. So why don't you start in the center, and then stop, do a circle, and then stop, and then circle back out for us. Gorgeous. Snap your head back. There you go. First, you have your hip to the audience and your shoulders to the audience. This creates a beautiful line. So we'll move from here, we're going to move over here, and then we want to bring the other leg out. You want to bring this leg out. You can put both hands on hips. You can put none, or you can put one. Now when you go to Mrs. America, they're usually a little more conservative. So I'm not going to do as sexy a modeling. And you take your time at the end. Usually your judges are right there. Make good eye contact with them. Make good eye contact, so like eye contact, maybe they're looking down, eye contact, and then when they look back up, get that eye contact, and then you smile, and you turn, and then you go back. Remember, your head always stays up. Now, if it's a sexier pageant, then you can do more of this kind of. Mrs. America, Mrs. World is a little more conservative, so I would kind of keep the legs together for that one. Your turn. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mrs. Moldova. Look at the audience as you're walking across. Up this way, there you go. Check out those judges. Great eye contact. I wouldn't keep the hand on the hip the entire
The whole time?
Yeah, break it up a little bit. You can go
All right,
two
so-
hands, you go one hand up, one hand down. Now, I'm assuming this is bathing suit. You got the hips going in there, and that's
Okay.
nice. When you do evening gown, there's a little something different that you can do. You can change your hands to where they're more like maybe this. Now, if you have a slit, you bevel the foot and the leg. If you don't have a slit, you close the leg because it helps the line of the dress. So slit, you bevel the leg. No slit, you close it. And you can do your hands like this. You do your hands like this. Hands like this. You always want to create space. Yeah. Okay. So let's do an evening gown walk. So an evening gown will be a little slower, a little more elegant. You always move with the music. So behind stage, I always walk to the beat of the music. Is what I do. So that when I'm on stage, it just kind of naturally flows. As you're walking across the stage, you're looking at your audience. So I wouldn't really look this direction. I would look and pan more this direction. And probably by the time you're in the middle of the stage, you're looking at your judges again. I'm gonna get looking here. This is evening gown. I'm gonna say I have a slit. So I'm gonna close my legs. And I'm coming through. It's a little slower because it's evening gown. My judges are there. The head always stays up, even though you're looking back. And then you go off, whichever way. This is world, they talked about it being exotic. So if you have any kind of, yeah, if you have a train or anything that you can work, I would work it. Especially, if you turn, bring it out and around, however you want with that. Same thing when you're down here with the judges, kind of work it a little bit, but I'm not sure what your gown's gonna be like. So one of the things you can do in swimsuit is put one foot directly in front of the other. Now, not everyone can do it, you have to feel natural, but if you can, it makes it a beautiful line. Yeah, gorgeous. Beautiful. Beautiful. The difference between swimsuit and gown in your hand and arm position is with swimsuit, your elbows back and your hands kind of on your waist. But then in gown, it's more like this. Now you can do like this in gown, but I would not do this in swimsuit, but this is a beautiful looking gown when your hands, it's very regal looking. Yeah. But in swimsuit, kind of always either one hand back, or both of them back. Sometimes you want to do a little more sexy modeling, like the Miss USA pageant. So for that, one of the things you can do is you kind of come in, you bring your hip out, and you hold it. And you check out your judges, you go the other way, and then maybe you come back, and then you turn. And then you go back to your sexy stand. But the main thing here is to be confident with it and hold it. And not feel like you have to move right away. And then you can step out of it. Beautiful. And hold it, hold it, hold it. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Nice. Beautiful. Awesome. Trick with the sexy modeling is to hold that pose. Show your confidence and open. So when you're doing the sexy walk, it's important to keep the upper portion of your body straight up and down. So although you're bringing your hip out, the top part, it's not angling, the top part is straight. And here again, the top part is straight. It's not angled like this, it's straight. And then you can exit out of it however you want. And then if you want to, you can even kind of step out of it, forward and out. Big, but a little bit. Again, I don't think this is for Mrs. World or Mrs. America, but this is for other types of modeling. And the other thing is when you're here and your hip is out, you might want to keep this leg straight instead of bent.
I always bending.
However, when I'm in the, I'll call it the T, I do bevel and bend the leg. But when I do the sexy one, I keep my legs perfectly straight. You don't have to, but that's what I do. You can step it back. There you have it.
For myself. I mean, you can take so I can learn my things.
Gorgeous. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Hold it straight, straight like, there you go. Beautiful. The only thing I changed is you have a habit of bending.
Yeah,
bending
so
this
that's
way.
you pinpointed. That's why I wanted to practice again.
And the other thing is, depending on your leg, you can either point it out or you can point it more like this. You have to, like if you're in swimsuit, you have to actually put your swimsuit on, look in a mirror, and you have to see which way your legs look prettier. Because everyone's legs are different. Some people have thicker or looser. So you just, it depends on your body. So you have to look in the mirror. And maybe ask a good friend for their opinion
And
too.
record yourself as well to see
Yeah.
the angle.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to do it.
I love that.
Yep.
Very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, it's been great spending my time with you. I am Janet. I hope you'll come back. Press the subscribe button down below. It's so easy to do. Just push subscribe. After 20 years of modeling and pageantry, I've got so many tips and tricks that I just want to share with you. So I'm excited. Hope you'll be back. And let me know what you want to hear about. Just type it in down below.